What's going on, everybody? This is your host, Sean Johnson, creator of Benchminer Hockey, and welcome to episode number 20 of our Benchminer Hockey Podcast. This is the hockey podcast that covers single A hockey news and stories from players and staff. If you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, make sure you follow us. Or if you're watching us on the video series on YouTube, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. And now, finally, we have a Carolina Thunderbird, Mr. Gus Ford. Thank you so much for coming on, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, fans have been on me about getting a Carolina Thunderbird on, and we finally have one. So thank you so much. I know there was a lot of people that wanted you, a lot of people that wanted Josh Keplinger, and a lot of people that wanted John Batista. But
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
figured I would go with the guy that has the stats first. So first, I just want to congratulate you on such an incredible season you're having.
Thank you. It's been pretty good so far. Our team's been pretty good too. So it's been a good year so far. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just to run through your stats real quick for the fans that may not pay attention to these numbers, Gus is the leader in points, goals, assists, points per game, power play goals, and plus minus right now. So just to be a leader in one or two stats is pretty impressive, but to have six, that's very impressive.
Yeah. I mean, it's really a testament to our team and to my line mates this year, and it's just been working out really well so far. And I'm really happy with the season so far. Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, I did look up the numbers, and I see you had 84 last season, and you had the franchise record. Well, you already hit 84, and you still got 16 games to go.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that you're going to, but you're in good shape to smash that record. How does that make you feel?
It feels really good. Hopefully I get that record and I just keep going from there. And look forward to the playoffs here. Our team looks good right now, so I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. And what would you say would be some of your personal and professional goals this season?
Well, a personal goal. I came in here wanting to break my record from last year, and I'm really looking forward now to hopefully get to 100 points. That'd be pretty awesome. I think that'd be a really good goal for me to
Hmm.
get. And I mean, for our team to make it long in playoffs and have a good chance to win when it comes down to the end of playoffs, there would be probably the best thing that happens this season.
Of course. And I forgot to mention this to the fans, but we're going to make this a quick episode because Mr. Gus Ford has to hop on the bus and head out to Motor City. So
Yep.
what are you looking forward to most this weekend at Motor City?
Well, Motor City and Port Huron are always a nice weekend for me because my family's about 2 hours away from both. So my family will be coming down. I got some friends coming down as well. So it'll be nice to have them there watching. Kind of feels like more of a home game for me because I got all my family and friends there. So that's mainly what I'm looking forward to.
Well, that's very cool. I'm happy
Yeah,
for you there. Um,
thank you.
Now let's talk about hockey in North Carolina real quick. So over the course of the past two seasons, what has been your favorite part about playing at the Annex in front of Thunderbird fans?
I mean, you just said it right there. The fans are awesome. I mean, you could talk to anybody else in the league, any other team, any other player, but they love playing in our barn because it just gets rowdy and it's a fun time. It's a good atmosphere. Our fans are loud, they're proud, and they're passionate, and it really gets us going more when the fans are loud. And I always say it to guys here. It's like when you pick up the puck going down the ice, you can kind of hear and feel the crowd start to lift and get excited. So I mean, that's just the best part about playing here by far. I mean, the warm weather is nice too, but it's good
For
playing here.
sure. Absolutely. I was there a couple weeks ago when you guys hosted the Watertown Wolves. Me and my wife, my daughter went there for a weekend of hockey, and let me tell you, like I've been to a few. I haven't been to all the barns in the league, so I can't speak on all of the barns. But Carolina is just one of those places. Like you just said, it's just such an electric building. Like the
Yeah.
energy in that building is just insane. Like the fans love their team, win or lose, doesn't matter. It's intense. So shout out to all the Carolina Thunderbird fans. I can't wait to go back to another game.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great place to play. I mean, like you said, the fans are just electric, and and we love the fans here. We We do stuff after the game with the fans, skate with the fans, stuff like that. But we just really appreciate all the support they give us. So
Of course. And shout out to Cap. I know you know who Cap is.
yeah, I know Cap is.
I
Yep.
got to Bench Miner, great podcast.
Perfect.
Right there. It's in writing, it's official.
Yep.
Keep that right here safe. Um Now, you're a goal scorer, we know that. How does it feel to score a goal at the annex in front of the flock? I know we were
I
talking
mean,
about energy, but just
yeah.
try to explain to us fans how that feels down on the ice.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I've scored an overtime goal there. I've scored a shootout goal there, and it's the loudest I've ever been in a building when I've scored a goal. It's crazy, especially in overtime. The fans just go nuts, and we always kind of joke around here. It doesn't matter how many goals we score, the fans still just go crazy. They want us to score more.
Mhm.
They are just as loud if we score the first goal or the sixth goal in a game. It's electric there. Yeah, it's just loud. It's very loud. Probably the loudest it's been is when I scored that goal against Danbury earlier in the season in overtime. I couldn't even hear myself think after that, so it was pretty crazy.
It's gotta be a great feeling, though, not being able to hear yourself think.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And, why do you think that the South is becoming like a hotbed for hockey?
I just think it's a lot of passionate people. I mean, you see it down in Columbus too. Columbus has a great fan base. They're just as rowdy as us. They have a big arena too, so they pack it. And then you look at like the
Mhm.
SP teams that are down here too. They have a ton of fans. Huntsville, Birmingham, those kind of teams. They just pack their rinks, and I just think it's more passion for the sport. And a lot of them are starting to learn more about the sport too, and they just like coming to see hockey games, like seeing wins, like seeing fights, like seeing goals. They like
Mhm.
the sport. Yeah, I think it's growing down here big time.
So besides the, Carolina Thunderbird faithful and, who would you say has, a large fan base or is a passionate fan base where you've been so far?
Binghamton probably. Binghamton would be
Binghamton?
a big one. They always have a lot of fans there, and like 5,000 6,000 fans. I mean, they got the rink for it, and Upper New York is big for hockey, so I'd probably say Binghamton would be one, and then Columbus is another one too. Columbus has a great fan base. They're just rowdy, rowdy crowd, and a lot of them. So it is fun playing those games too, because whether they're hating you or they're loving you, you just love playing in front of a lot of people. So
Absolutely agree with you there. Like I said, this is going to be a shorter episode because you got a bus to catch.
yeah,
But let's go through a bunch of random questions. I kind of had a few questions myself. I mixed them with fan questions, so we're going to be all over the board real quick. So
yeah.
if things don't make sense or they're not in order, it's because I jumbled them.
All right.
First up, what advice would you give to guys getting ready to make the jump to professional hockey?
I would say make sure your summer preparation is strong. I came from college, and college prepared me pretty well for pro hockey, but um, I'm saying for guys coming out of juniors and stuff like that, you need to be prepared coming in. You need to be stronger, faster. Most junior and college teams they play 4 lines, 60 here. Most of the time, we're going 3 lines and 5D, sometimes six. So it's a lot more ice. It's a lot more stress on your body, especially with 3-and-3s, that kind of stuff. So I would just say being prepared and being ready to play every night. But yeah, the summer preparation would probably be the biggest thing.
Right. And this kind of goes off that, but we know most hockey players, you guys eat healthy, you work out to stay in shape. What are some of the things that you do to kind of take care of your mental health? Because that is also very important, and it's something that we don't really talk about much.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, personally, I like to get away from the game a little bit, even during the week here. I mean, we have practice every day, but when I leave the rink, I usually try to not think about hockey for the rest of the day. I'm a big golfer, so I've gone a few times by myself golfing just to clear my head, or gone with a couple buddies on the team just to get away from the game. Um, you know, Play some golf, go to the gym, helps a little bit with the mental health as well. But mainly just being around the guys is a big help. I mean, we're all in the same boat right now, so we kind of all got to stick together. So yeah, that would probably be one of the big things.
Right. I know you can kind of relate to this. I was a military guy, so I graduated high school. I left home. I went to basic training. I went overseas, did my time. You guys are. I'm not saying it's exactly like the military, but it's similar for some guys that you're from Canada or you're from Europe. You're in a completely different place playing hockey with a bunch of guys you don't know.
Yep.
Um, how did you kind of make the jump from going away from home for the first time?
Well, I went away when I was in juniors and in my last year junior, and I moved. I didn't move too far away. I moved about an hour and a half away, but it was a big adjustment for me too because I'm really close with my family. So kind of just leaning on other guys on the team that have the same problem. When I went away to college, it was a big step for me, and it's just it has a lot to do with the coaches too. The coaches can make you feel at home here, and of course when I came to pro, I mean, I knew Garrett a little bit, which was a big help. And he got me here, and I had a lot. I had leaned on him a lot too, but I leaned on the other Canadian guys, some of the European guys on our team, and then of course the fans too. The fans are just really welcoming here, and they really help out. If you need anything, they help you out around town or something like that. So just having all that support is really big for us and for pretty much every guy in the
Mhm.
league, I would assume. Yeah.
Of course, because even when I was with the Watertown Wolves, we would travel to Carolina. Um, Man, your guys' fans, your booster club members, like
Yep.
the Southern hospitality was just so great. Like even us as visitors, like they were supposed to hate us, but nope, they treated us just like family. It was
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah, they hate the guys on the ice, and then as soon as it's off the ice, they're
Hmm.
having a drink with them, or they're getting food, and they're always chatting. Our fans are really good about that. They leave it all on the ice. They don't bring it out with them. So yeah.
100%. 100%. Now, this is kind of like a game day question, but what artists or what songs are you kind of listening to on game day to kind of pump yourself up?
Well, like we kind of listen to music as a group in the room. But if I had a choice, I'm more of like a '90s rock kind of thing. So I'd be listening to like some Blink 182 or Linkin Park's not a bad one either. I like Linkin Park. But I'm not too picky. I can listen to any music and get up for a game. So I mean, I'm also a country guy too, so I can listen to country before a game. But I just keep it easy. I go with what the boys are listening to and in the room, and sometimes it's rap, sometimes it's some EDM stuff. So I just kind of vibe with what the guys are doing.
Well, whatever it is, it's sure working for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
What would you say would be your favorite promotional night?
Emotional night. I
Mhm.
think this year so far we had the military night. I really like that. I thought our jerseys were pretty cool there. But I think any night we do something for cancer, it would be probably the ones I get most excited for. Everyone gets affected by that. Everyone's been affected by it. So it's really cool to put on the purple or the pink jersey. I think we wore purple this year.
Mhm.
So it's really cool to put on those kind of jerseys and just play for the people that you've lost or the people that have cancer, and you know just play your best for them.
Of course. Who did you fight for this year? Someone
Well, I
specific?
yeah, I've had 3 or 4 grandparents that have been affected by cancer and that have passed away. So I always play for them. They're always in my thoughts, and I just play for them pretty much. Yeah.
Well, you're doing a great job, my friend.
Thank you.
Now, fans seem to like these kind of questions. So, who would you say is the biggest practical joker on your team?
Practical Joker. That's I
Who's the
mean,
biggest goofball?
biggest goofball. I mean, we got a couple on our team this year. I mean,
Every team does. Every
yeah,
team does.
we got some young guys that are kind of goofy. So I'd probably say like Dawson Baker. He's a goofball around the room. Lucas Rowe. When those two get together, they're pretty. They go back and forth. They're pretty goofy. But Jacob Schnapp is probably one of a big goofball too. But
Oh yeah,
us older guys like John Petita, me, Yuri Pasuka, Victor, we all can play a little bit of the goofball as well. So, yeah, but that's probably it.
Gotcha. Has there been any big pranks in the locker room? Anything that really stands out?
This year I don't think so. I think last year I think someone might have filled up a couple water and put it underneath someone's helmet, and when they pulled their helmet out for practice, water spilled all over them. I've seen guys put
That'll do it.
tape on guys' helmets as well. I think that was last year. This year I don't think we've done any of that kind of stuff. It might have been. We might have had one this year. We might have had somebody put clear tape on somebody's blades, and then when they stepped out,
Oh,
they
yep,
yeah.
yeah.
There's those ones
Biffed it,
always.
huh?
Yeah,
Oh, goodness. It's the simplest jokes that are the funniest sometimes.
100%. Yep.
Where would you say has been your favorite road trip? Whether it be this season or last season, where's your favorite place to go? I know you talked about, Motor City and Port Huron being your favorites because it's close to
Yep.
home, but are there any other places you really enjoy playing at their barn?
Yeah. Well, this year, actually, recently we had a trip to Mississippi, and we went on Tuesday because we played on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So we were down there from Tuesday till about Saturday. So I'd probably say that trip was probably the most fun one because we had so much time. We had Thursday off, which was nice. Went out for dinner with a couple of the guys. Had some team bonding things. And of course they have casinos down there, so that got some of us. But it was a good time.
That'll do it.
And Mardi Gras was on that weekend too, so we got to see that, partake in a little bit of the festivities, but that was pretty much it. Yeah,
Well, that's a pretty cool experience.
yeah, it was awesome.
And what would you say would be your craziest road trip story?
Craziest road trip. Um, hmm. Well, last year we had a couple crazy ones. We had a couple bus breakdowns. Um,
Every team does. I don't care who you are. Every team has a bus breakdown, so don't
yeah,
even try to lie.
I know. I've heard it. I've heard it all. I'd probably say
Every team acts like they got the best bus in the league, but
yeah,
everyone has a breakdown sooner or
last
later.
last year in playoffs, we were playing Watertown, and they came down here for game one, and then their bus broke down before they left. So then they ended up driving. I think they were taking vans back, and we were following them. And then we broke down in Pennsylvania, and then they had to come and pick us up in another bus. So it was just a big mix up there. But I'd probably say that's the craziest one I've had to deal with.
It's always something, man. It's always
It is.
something.
It is.
Now, if there was one thing that you can change in the FPHL, what would it be?
Um, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one,
Yeah.
but
Um.
the goal is to make the league bigger and better each
Yep.
year. And
Yep.
honestly, a lot of that comes from the players and comes from the coaches because they're there firsthand. They know what needs to change.
Yeah.
So can't
Um.
really make changes without you guys. So
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I like what the league's doing right now, bringing more teams in, and I think that bringing more teams in creates like way better competition for us.
mhm.
So I like what they're doing there. Maybe bring it to 12 teams. I think that's what they're doing next year, I believe, which I think is good. But if I could change something, I'd probably say no more shootout, and I would just go 3-on-3 for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever it is. I
Okay,
think that's
that's
a better way
interesting.
to settle it. Yeah.
So you think like a double OT.
Yeah,
um
more like a 10-minute instead of 5-minute thing. I mean, I like the shootout. I mean, I'm a big fan of that because like I mean, I like to go in shootouts, but I think that a game should be settled more in overtime than it should be in a shootout.
That's fair. I
Yeah,
never really thought about it like that, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Definitely does make sense though. Just a couple more questions here for you. I know you got to get going, so
yep,
um, we'll do two more questions.
awesome.
Is there another team in the FPHL that you would like to play for someday?
If
I'm
there
not saying do you
was,
want to get out of Carolina right now, but I'm saying in general, would you like to try to play for another team eventually?
yeah, I mean, if there was, for sure, I'd like to probably play for one of the Michigan teams. Obviously, just because my
Mm.
family would be close. I mean, it'd be like a 2-hour drive home, so it'd be nice to go home after a weekend or something like that for a day or two, see them, and they'd be able to come watch all the time. So I'd probably say one of the Michigan teams. And I mean, if it would happen soon, I'm not theoretically, if it would happen soon, hypothetically, I would like to play for Danbury because I got a couple buddies on that team I played in college with, Kyle
Okay.
Gonzalez and Lucas DeBenedict. So it'd be cool to play with them. But, I'm pretty happy right now in Carolina. So I don't know if that's going to
Right.
happen
Well,
soon.
if you went to
Yeah.
Danbury, you'd be missing out on Brian Wilson because he just got a call up to the American Hockey League.
To the American Hockey League, really, that's awesome.
American
Well,
Hockey League. Yeah.
he's a hell of a goalie too. He kept them in a bunch of games that we played against them in the beginning of the year, and he's always solid for them. So I mean, I'm not surprised about that at all.
Yeah, absolutely. He went to Belleville. So
Oh,
congratulations to him. If he's
yep,
listening or any Danbury fans are listening, congrats to Brian. Wish him the best up there. You hate to see players leave, but I mean, at the end
yeah,
of the day, this is the Federal Prospects Hockey League. Like the goal is to move up the
yep,
ladder. So
exactly.
as players leave here, we want them to move up. So congratulations to him. All right. Final question. This is going to be a tough one.
Okay.
Who is your pick to be in the Commissioner Cup finals this year? What two teams and who's taking it all?
I mean, Carolina Thunderbirds in the finals against Binghamton.
It sounds a little biased to me, but I guess so. All
Yeah,
right. Who you guys taking on?
probably Binghamton. I'm gonna say.
Binghamton?
Yeah, and I think we
All
got.
right. And who wins that series?
I think we win that series.
How many games to how many games?
Well, it depends. If it's three, I think we're gonna win two. I think we'll win 2-1 in that. But if it's five, I think we get 3-1 there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys heard it here first. This was Mr. Gus Ford. I apologize. This is a short episode, but he's got to hop on the bus and get out of here. Um, any closing remarks for Carolina Thunderbird fans or Benchminer followers?
No, I think we covered it all. Thank you for having me, though. It was a good time.
Of course. Of course. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming on. Again, if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, be sure to give us a follow. If you're watching us on the YouTube series, hit that red subscribe button. And once again, thank you so much for Gus for coming on. And we can't wait to talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
You too.